The Great Farm Mystery. Long ago, in the peaceful countryside of Willowbrook Valley, there were many green farms surrounded by rolling hills and beautiful meadows. Among those farms lived two young shepherds named Ella and Ethan. They were responsible for looking after a large flock of fluffy sheep. The two children loved their animals and treated every sheep like a member of their family. Every evening, when the sky turned orange and the sun began to disappear behind the hills, Ella and Ethan carefully counted their sheep before taking them into the enclosure. One evening, Ethan counted each sheep slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ella watched carefully as he continued. When they finished counting, everything seemed fine. They closed the gates securely and went home. The next morning, the two children returned to the field. Ethan opened the gate and began counting the sheep again, but suddenly, he stopped. "Wait a minute, Ella. Something is wrong." Ella hurried over. "What happened?" "We're missing two sheep." The children searched around the enclosure, behind the barn, and near the trees, but the missing animals were nowhere to be found. Ella became worried. Maybe they wandered onto another farm. The two children immediately visited their neighbor, Mr. Oliver, who owned a farm nearby. Oliver counted his own sheep. To everyone's surprise, two of his sheep were missing as well. The children then went to another neighboring farm owned by Mr. Samuel. Samuel checked his flock. He had lost sheep too. Now everyone was deeply concerned. Ella, Ethan, Oliver, and Samuel searched the surrounding fields. They checked bushes, valleys, streams, and narrow paths between the hills. But there was no sign of the missing sheep. As evening arrived, the search party returned home. Ella and Ethan were especially upset. They couldn't understand how so many sheep could disappear without anyone noticing. That night, instead of going to bed, the two children decided to stay near the sheep enclosure. They wanted to discover what was happening. The night was quiet. The moon was shining above the farm. Then the sheep suddenly became nervous. They began moving around the enclosure and making frightened noises. Ella grabbed Ethan's arm. "Look over there." Two long tails appeared behind the fence. They were orange with dark stripes. The children gasped. "Tigers!" The animals seemed to be frightening the sheep. Ella and Ethan immediately ran home and told their fathers what they had seen. The next morning, everyone gathered at the farm. Even more sheep were missing. The farmers knew they needed help. So they contacted the Bright Valley Police Department. "We need the police to investigate," said Ethan's father. Before long, Chief Ruby arrived with her officers, Milo, Tessa, and Toby. Chief Ruby carefully examined the sheep enclosure. She inspected the gate, the walls, and every section of the fence. "This fence hasn't been broken," she said. Milo looked around. "Then how are the sheep disappearing?" Chief Ruby thought for a moment. "I have an idea, but we'll need to wait until tonight." After sunset, Chief Ruby and her officers returned to the farm. This time, they brought a special detective with them. His name was Tracker, a clever police dog with an excellent sense of smell. The officers hid nearby and waited quietly. Hours passed. Suddenly, shadows appeared near the sheep enclosure. Several people entered the farm, but they weren't wearing ordinary clothes. They were dressed in frightening tiger costumes. Tracker immediately noticed them. He jumped forward and barked loudly. The costumed men froze. Chief Ruby and the officers rushed toward them. The tiger costumes were only disguises. The people underneath were criminals. Chief Ruby recognized them. They were a gang known for causing trouble throughout the valley. Their names were Rocco, Benny, Felix, and Max. The thieves quickly ran away. The police chased them through the fields. The criminals raced toward a river. When they reached the water, they grabbed long vines hanging from nearby trees and swung across. Tracker carefully jumped from rock to rock. Chief Ruby and her officers followed. On the other side of the river, they discovered a hidden camp. There were the missing sheep. The criminals had been collecting them and preparing to transport them away in a large truck. Chief Ruby blew her whistle. The thieves turned around in surprise. "Run!" shouted Rocco. The criminals jumped onto their horses and raced into the forest. The police followed, but the horses were too fast. The thieves disappeared into the trees. Chief Ruby wasn't ready to give up. She raised her special whistle and called for another member of the police team. A large police eagle named Sky Scout flew down from above. Chief Ruby explained what had happened. Sky Scout immediately took flight. From high above the forest, he searched between the trees, hills, and rocky paths. The criminals had traveled a long distance and believed they were safe. They stopped at a hidden clearing, but Sky Scout spotted them. He flew back and told Chief Ruby exactly where they were hiding. Chief Ruby quickly created a clever plan. Meanwhile, the thieves suddenly heard strange noises around them. "What was that?" asked Benny.
They climbed onto their horses. Then several fierce-looking lions appeared from behind the bushes. The thieves panicked. They tried to escape, but suddenly, the lions removed their masks. They weren't real lions at all. They were Chief Ruby's officers wearing special costumes. The thieves had been fooled. The police surrounded them and arrested them. Meanwhile, the stolen sheep were safely returned to their farms. Ella and Ethan were overjoyed. "Thank you, Bright Valley Police," they said. The farmers thanked the officers for solving the mystery. From that day forward, everyone felt much safer. And Tracker stayed nearby to make sure the captured thieves couldn't cause any more trouble. The mystery of the missing bicycles. A few days later, Ella, Ethan, and their friends Maya, Noah, Lily, and Rosie were invited to a birthday celebration. The birthday girl was their friend Rosie. Everyone wanted to give her a special present. After discussing several ideas, the children decided to buy her a beautiful new bicycle. They visited a bicycle shop and carefully chose the perfect gift. Then they brought the bicycle home and left it safely in the family's enclosed yard. Unfortunately, someone had been watching them. It was the same group of criminals. Rocco, Benny, Felix, and Max had followed the children. They wanted the bicycles for themselves. The yard was protected by a security fence. The criminals couldn't simply walk through the gate. Rocco looked around and found a long wooden pole. He used it to climb over the fence. Once inside, he opened the gate for the others. The thieves quickly removed the bicycles and disappeared. The next morning, the children came outside. The bicycles were gone. Everyone was shocked. Rosie's father immediately called the Bright Valley Police Department. Chief Ruby and Officer Tessa arrived at the house. They carefully examined the area. "Tell us everything you remember," Chief Ruby said. The children described the bicycles, including their colors, locks, and special features. Noah also brought the electronic control keys that belonged to the bicycles. Chief Ruby contacted police headquarters. "Keep an eye out for these bicycles," she instructed the other officers. The next morning, an officer spotted Rocco riding one of the stolen bicycles. He immediately contacted Chief Ruby. Chief Ruby gave the bicycle's control key to Officer Toby. Toby followed Rocco from a safe distance. Rocco eventually reached an old warehouse on the edge of town. Toby contacted Chief Ruby. "Chief, I've found their hideout." Chief Ruby and the other officers hurried to the location, but the thieves spotted them. Rocco, Benny, Felix, and Max jumped onto the stolen bicycles and raced away. The police chased them through the streets. Chief Ruby and the officers divided into different directions. Officer Tessa blocked one of the narrow streets. Benny tried to escape through an alley, but Tessa quickly stopped him. Another thief tried to turn around, but Officer Toby was waiting nearby. The criminals kept trying different routes. They raced around a busy traffic circle. Officer Milo followed one of them until the thief became exhausted. Eventually, he had no strength left to continue. Meanwhile, Chief Ruby and Officer Tessa chased Rocco and Felix. The two criminals sped down a road. Suddenly, one of their vehicles struck a sharp object and stopped. Rocco and Felix jumped off and tried to run. Chief Ruby quickly secured the stolen bicycles. The two criminals were caught. The last thief attempted to escape through another street, but Officer Toby activated a special safety net from the police vehicle. The thief was caught before he could get away. The police recovered all the stolen bicycles. Most importantly, the birthday bicycle was returned to Rosie. The children were thrilled. Rosie smiled happily when she received her present. "Thank you, Bright Valley Police." Chief Ruby smiled. "Remember, children, honesty and kindness always lead to better choices." Trouble at the summer carnival. Not long after that, a huge summer carnival arrived in Willowbrook Valley. The local school organized a special trip for the children. Their teacher, Mrs. Clara, took the students to the carnival in a school bus. The children were extremely excited. There were colorful decorations everywhere. They saw funny clowns, spinning rides, a giant bouncing castle, game booths, and a beautiful parade. The children played games and won exciting prizes. Some won stuffed animals, others won colorful toys. Everyone was having a wonderful time, but someone else was watching them. Rocco, Benny, Felix, and Max had returned. This time, two of them disguised themselves as carnival clowns. They wanted to steal the children's prizes. While everyone was distracted, Rocco and Max secretly entered the school bus. They started the engine and drove away. The children suddenly realized that something was wrong. They became frightened. Mrs. Clara quickly called the police. "Please help us! The school bus has been taken!" Chief Ruby received the call immediately. She sent her officers to find the bus. The stolen bus was moving quickly through the countryside. Rocco and Max were driving carelessly. The situation became even more dangerous when the road began leading toward a steep hillside. Chief Ruby contacted Officer Milo. "We need to stop that bus before it reaches the dangerous road." The criminals tried to escape through a muddy area, but the bus became difficult to control. Then the brakes stopped responding properly. A steep drop was just ahead. Fortunately, Officer Tessa arrived in a police helicopter. She lowered a powerful magnetic rescue device toward the bus. The device attached itself securely and slowed the vehicle. The rest of the police team arrived moments later. Their rescue specialist, Gearmaster Gus, brought a powerful emergency truck. The truck stabilized the bus and prevented it from sliding any farther. Chief Ruby and Officer Toby used rescue equipment to open a safe exit. Officer Tessa brought a long rescue ladder. She placed it carefully against the bus. "Everyone stay calm," Chief Ruby told the children. "Follow us one at a time." The children carefully climbed down the ladder. Mrs. Clara helped them reach safety. Even the two criminals were rescued from the dangerous vehicle. Once everyone was safe, the police arrested Rocco and Max. The children hugged their teacher. They were relieved to be back on safe ground. Chief Ruby reminded them that if they ever faced danger, they should stay calm and immediately ask a trusted adult for help. The stolen souvenirs. Several weeks later, Mrs. Clara planned another exciting school trip. This time, the class was going to visit New York City. The children were thrilled. They asked their parents for permission, and their families happily agreed. The next morning, the children received some spending money. They put their money together and asked Mrs. Clara to help them choose souvenirs for their families. The school bus traveled all the way to New York City. The children were amazed by the enormous buildings and busy streets. Their first stop was the famous Statue of Liberty. Everyone took pictures and admired the beautiful monument. Afterward, the class visited a souvenir store. The children chose gifts for their parents, brothers, sisters, and friends. They carefully placed everything inside their bags. Later, Mrs. Clara took the class to another famous attraction. They visited the Empire State Building. The children couldn't believe how tall it was. From high above the city, they could see buildings, streets, and distant neighborhoods. "Look at all those tiny cars," one child said. Everyone laughed. After visiting the observation area, the class bought a few more souvenirs. Eventually, they returned to their school bus, but Rocco and Max had followed them. The two thieves were watching the children closely. Mrs. Clara asked the bus driver to stop at a nearby park so the children could eat lunch and enjoy some fresh air. The bus driver stepped away briefly to get his meal. That was exactly what the thieves had been waiting for. Rocco and Max secretly entered the bus. They grabbed the children's souvenir bags and escaped. When the driver returned, he immediately noticed that the bus door was open. Several bags were missing. He quickly informed Mrs. Clara. The children checked their belongings. Their souvenirs were gone. Mrs. Clara contacted the police. Chief Ruby and Officer Toby rushed to the park. They listened carefully while the teacher and bus driver explained what had happened. Chief Ruby examined the area. Officer Toby noticed a nearby security camera. "Chief, we might have something." They contacted the security office and watched the recorded footage. The camera showed two men riding bicycles near the bus.
One of them looked familiar. Chief Ruby recognized him. "That's Max. He's one of the thieves we've been looking for." She immediately contacted the rest of the police team. Chief Ruby and Officer Toby followed the clues through the city. Eventually, they found Rocco and Max selling the stolen souvenirs on a busy street. The officers moved toward them, but the thieves spotted the police. They quickly threw a large cloth over the officers and escaped on their bicycles. Chief Ruby chased them in the police vehicle. She released several harmless road barriers to slow them down. Officer Toby used a special web launcher to block another escape route. But the thieves kept going. They eventually entered an area covered with artificial snow. The police vehicles struggled to move. Officer Toby called Gearmaster Gus. Gus quickly arrived with special equipment. He replaced the vehicle wheels with skis. Now, the police could travel across the snow. Rocco and Max tried to escape on skis, but they lost control and crashed into a large wall of ice. The two thieves quickly stood up. They saw several snowmen nearby. "We'll hide there," Rocco said. They disguised themselves as snowmen and stood perfectly still. Chief Ruby and Officer Toby searched the area. They examined the snow carefully. Then Chief Ruby noticed something unusual. One snowman had footprints leading directly toward it. "That one looks suspicious." She walked over. Rocco and Max tried to run, but the officers were ready. The thieves jumped onto large snow tubes and slid down an icy hill. They thought they had finally escaped, but Gearmaster Gus was waiting at the bottom. The snow tubes came to a stop. The police surrounded the thieves. Rocco and Max were finally captured. The children's souvenirs were recovered and returned. The students were extremely happy. They thanked Chief Ruby, Officer Toby, Officer Tessa, Officer Milo, and Gearmaster Gus for helping them. Mrs. Clara smiled at her students. Today, we learned something very important. When something goes wrong, we should stay calm, tell a trusted adult, and let responsible people help us. The children nodded. They had experienced 3 unforgettable adventures. They had learned that teamwork, courage, honesty, and kindness could solve even the most difficult problems. And from that day forward, the people of Willowbrook Valley knew they could count on their brave police team whenever trouble appeared. The children returned home safely, carrying their precious souvenirs and wonderful memories of their adventures. And the peaceful valley became quiet once again. The end.